Okay. Alrighty. I don't know if this ice cream's gonna work out. I'm wasting all this money. But whatever. Yours. Alright. Hello, 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 hello. Alright. Let's see how this one looks. That's good. Alright. Let me turn this on. Hello, everybody. I'm here. Not doing much today. Gonna try to make this ice cream. I have one in the freezer now. I made it this morning. I checked a little bit ago. Not sure about the consistency of it. I mean, it's freezing up, but it's not getting frozen. It's more like I don't know what to call it. But anyways, I'm gonna leave it in the freezer for a little bit more. That one I used Cool Whip on. I just want to make sure you're on here. There we go. Okay. That one I used Cool Whip on. This one here, I'm going to do a chocolate and I'm going to do a chocolate and I just want to make sure. Hold on. All right. I'm going to do a chocolate one, and I'm also going to do another Biscoff. That's what I did this morning. I did a Biscoff one. The Biscoff one I did with, I didn't use regular cream. I used, I got to get my chocolate. I got to get my chocolate out. I used Cool Whip. So this one I'm going to do with regular cream for the Biscoff. I'm going to use the, I got to wash my hands up real quick. I'm going to use the Cool Whip for the chocolate one so that we can see how it all works out. All right. So I'm going to start with, since I'm going to use the Biscoff one with the cream, I'm going to start with that. And I'm going to get this ready to go so I can put it in the refrigerator for a few minutes so it cools down. So you do need a 14-ounce thing of Biscoff when you do it. At what? A 14-ounce, 14.1 ounce would be pretty much 1 cup. So, okay, so I'm going to take, I want to do the Biscoff one first. So I'm going to take a cup of half and half. Let me get that first. I got to take sugar. There's the cup of half and half. I'm going to need this cup again because I'm going to do the other one too. And then I need 3/4 a cup of sugar. And I'm going to turn this on. You do not want this to boil, but I want to get it in the refrigerator, so I'll make a meal. I'll make a meal on Saturday. I'm going to make this Amish. That's 3/4 of a cup. I'm going to make this Amish chip beef casserole thingy jiggy. So I'll do that on Saturday. I'm just going to do this today. I have stuff in there that has to be used up, so that's what we're going to eat for supper. So I'm going to put this in this bowl then when I'm done, so I can stick it in the refrigerator. So all you're going to do is put this on until this sugar melts up. Do not let this boil. You don't want it to boil, so you're going to, in a saucepan, half and half in sugar, just till the sugar's dissolved, which it is. So now you're going to add in your Biscoff butter. And like I said, you can use a whole 14-ounce thing of it. I measured it out this morning. It was just a tad over a cup when I measured it out this morning. So you can just put the whole thing in. Like I said, I get this in the refrigerator so this gets cold. And then I'll do the chocolate one. And then what we'll do is now you just want to do this until it gets smooth and till the Biscoff stuff melts up. Like I said, I've already made one of these this morning. It's in the freezer. I'll come back later and show it to you. I'm trying to get this one done. I'm going to use the heavy cream. I'm going to take my mixer and use the heavy cream on this one. I'm making a mess on my stove. So all I'm going to do is just, like I said, you don't want this to boil. You just want to get it to so it's all creamy. And I think this is about right. Okay, there you go. That's creamy. Okay, let me turn that off for the moment. I'm going to put this in here because I'm going to stick this into my freezer so I can get it to cool down. I might not have had the other one cool enough, is what I'm starting to wonder. I mean, it wasn't real hot because you're not, but I don't know. I'm going to rinse this out and use this again. All right, let me get the lid for this so it doesn't spill. Alright, here's the lid for this one. Let's get this in the refrigerator real quick. I'm going to put it in the freezer actually, so I know it gets cold. Make sure it's sitting down flat. Okay. There you go. Alrighty. So now, let me rinse this out. Because like I said, I'm going to use the same pan. Because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make a chocolate one. And the chocolate one I'm going to use the chocolate one I'm going to use Cool Whip for. The Biscoff one I have in the freezer, I used Cool Whip. This one here, I'm going to use, I'm going to take heavy cream and peek it up and see if that makes it any different. I want to see what the difference in them is. Now, these have to sit for about 6 to 8 hours, so. Okay, so now on the chocolate one, I'm going to do, where's my cup? I'm going to do a cup of half and half. Okay, same thing, and then I'm going to do 3/4 of a cup of sugar. And then I'm going to use a half a cup of cocoa powder. You can use a half to 3/4 of a cup of sugar. I'm going to use a whole 3/4 because I'm using cocoa powder. So, and then I need a half of cocoa powder. I don't want to make a mess with this cocoa powder today. You can melt down some chocolate chips and put in this if you want. So, instead of all this cocoa powder, I'm just going to use cocoa powder. See how it works out. Alright, so there's that. So now let me get this all mixed up. Turn this on. This one here, you just want to get it so it's all, no lumps in this one because you got cocoa powder in here. So, I'm going to get this one done so I can get this one in the refrigerator just so it gets cold so we can add the whipped cream to it. Okay. There's one that don't have any lumps in it. This one here, I'll put that little brown one. I just want to try this and make sure it's sweet enough. I'm going to put a little bit more sugar in there. Kind of bitter. And then I'm just going to stick a little bit more half and half in this too. There's not much left in here as a half and half. Okay. Yeah, I would go more with the cup. Unless you're using just regular chocolate chips and you melt them down, then you'd be okay. But that's better. Okay. Yeah, if you're using regular chocolate chips and melt it down, you'd be okay. But if you're using cocoa powder, I go more with the cup. Okay. Let me get my little brown one because I don't need, this one's not going to have as much in it. I just want to get this in too so this can cool down while we're fluffing up the, this one is a little hotter. So these got to cool down. This one's going to get the Cool Whip in it. I mean, I can make them both with half and half, but I'm not going to. Alrighty. Okay. Let me put some water in there. I don't need that anymore. Okay. I want to get this off the floor. Dropped a little bit on the floor. Now the one step on it. Oh, so I'm going to put this one in now, and then I'm going to get out my heavy cream and get that peaked up. So we can combine these together and get this done. Hopefully, I can at least show it to you. I'm putting them both in the freezer for the moment. They'll get colder that way. Okay, so now let me get out my whipped cream. My whipping cream. I need a cup of this. And I'm going to make this until it gets peaks in it. Like I said, this one here I'm going to this one here I'm going to use in the biscuit because I did the other one has Cool Whip in it. So that way you can see the difference in them. It shouldn't be much of a difference, but I want to see what the difference might be. So, I don't want to get my stand mixer out. It's a little much for just to lift this up. This little $5 mixer I got a while back really comes in handy. So, okay. Let me push that back. Let me put this in here. Okay. Alrighty. So give me a cup of this. That's a cup. Take a cup of this cream. Okay, there you go. And all we want to do is form peaks in this. Alrighty. Just want to get it that it forms peaks. Not take a couple of minutes. got peaks in it. Alrighty. Thank God that lid was on, huh? So let me get out the Biscoff now. It should be cold enough, I would hope. Okay, to this I'm going to have to add a teaspoon of vanilla. Just want to make sure it's cold enough. It's not super cold, but it's not hot, so, okay. Got to put a thing of vanilla in here. Okay. I'm going to need that again for the other one. Okay. So, we're going to add this into this. Going to do it slowly. The other one this morning I did fast, and I should have just done it slowly. Because all you want to do is fold this in. Okay. I'm going to put it into another thing anyways, because I want to put it in an airtight container. Okay, so now I'm going to take some of these chocolate chips and put in there. Alrighty. So, good. Alright, we're going to stick it in one of these. The one this morning, what happened was I didn't let it get completely cold, I don't think. So, I didn't leave it in the refrigerator long enough. I don't think I was trying to rush to get it done, so I did get it ready. Because like I said, these are supposed to stay in for like 6 to 8 hours. I'm going to try to bring this one out a little bit, a couple hours. That's why I'm trying to get it in now. Trying to get it into the freezer for that reason. I'm going to use this bowl for my next one too. I'm not going to hurt it none. Alright, let me get this one in the refrigerator. I'm not supposed to have all this sweet stuff, and I can pretty much sample on these things all day. Alright, let's get this one in here. Let me see how this one might be. This one's the chocolate. It's not cold, but it's not hot. Not overly cold. Alright, this one here I'm going to use the whipped cream. This is what I used for the one this morning. The Biscoff one. I just used regular whipped cream. So, let me put this in first and then I'll fold this in. it that way. Okay. Then we're going to make a mess, evidently. I'm going to put a teaspoon of vanilla in this one. This vanilla is just about empty. Alright, and then we're going to start folding this whipped cream in there. Sugar. Okay. Alright, let me get this in here. I'm wondering if I should put a few chocolate chips in this. I have some. You know what? I have some butterscotch chips too. That would probably give us some butterscotch chips in it, huh? That's what I might do. Put a couple of butterscotch chips in this to off-center all that chocolate. Okay. All right. Let me get some butterscotch chips out. I know I had some. This is the one I really like. I'm going to put all of them in there. I can smell that butterscotch. For sure. What the hell? You only live once, right? Okay. You only live once. I put them all in. Okay. Now I'm going to put this into this and get this one in the freezer. Hopefully these can set a little bit before too late. Then I can pull them out. Okay. There you go. This was my vanilla spin. I just want to see what this. That one's going to be good. If this hardens up, it's going to be amazing. All right, let me get these in here. They don't spill. All right, cool. Ice cream sandwiches are coming out of there. All right, there you go. So what I did was, let me clean this up a little bit. All right, so what we did here was, we took dark chocolate, we took Biscoff butter. I made one this morning that's in Cool Whip. I put Cool Whip in it. With Biscoff butter. So, and then the one I just made, we had stuck actually stuck heavy whipping cream in that one. I want to see what the difference is. So what you do is you take your heavy, you have a cup of heavy whipping cream, a cup of half and half, a half a cup to 3/4 a cup of sugar. I only used 3/4 for the one with Biscoff in it, but the one I had with let me turn that off. I'm distracting my own self. The one I had with cocoa in, I put a cup in. So the one you use a half a cup of cocoa. Then for both of them, use a teaspoon of vanilla. And then you can use a cup, or I just used a bag of chocolate chips. And then you just use one 14-ounce container of Biscoff, or 1 cup. The chocolate, if you want to use, melt some regular chocolate down, you know, chocolate chips, then you wouldn't have to put all that sugar in there. But if you're going to use the cocoa powder, you might want to add a little bit more sugar to it. So in a saucepan, you heat it up. It's going to be the same way for both. In a saucepan, you heat it up. You put for your Biscoff, you put your half and half of sugar in. You stir it till it's dissolved. Then you stir your Biscoff butter in there. Then you got to let it cool. So I put mine in the freezer. And then in a bowl, you fold in the cold mixture into the Cool Whip. You add vanilla and chocolate chips. Pour it in a container and freeze it for 6 to 8 hours or overnight. And then for the chocolate one, you do the same thing. A cup of heavy cream, a cup of half and half, half a cup of cocoa powder. If you're using cocoa powder, I'd put a cup of sugar in. You don't have to. I mean, you just try it. Put 3/4 in and see what you think, like I did. A teaspoon of vanilla and a cup of chocolate chips if you want. I put a bag of butterscotch chips in mine. In a saucepan, you take the half and half, the sugar and the cocoa powder, and you combine that till there's no lumps and the sugar's dissolved. You let it cool, and then you take your heavy cream and you fluff that in. You can make whipped cream, which you take your heavy cream and you just do it till you get the peaks like I did. Then you fold in your chocolate mixture. You can also use Cool Whip if you choose. And then you add your vanilla and your chocolate chips, and you also freeze that one 6 to 8 hours. Okay, I'm going to let them in for a little while. So I'm figuring maybe about 6 I'll come back. That's about 2.5 hours, 2.5 hours and 15 minutes. We'll come back about 6, and I'll pull them out and see what they look like. And then the one I made this morning, we'll pull that one out. That one I did not let the stuff get quite as cold. So I don't know if that made a difference or not, but we'll pull it out and we'll see the difference in them. So I will be here Saturday. Hopefully, it's good Lord's willing. We will be making a chip beef casserole. It's an Amish dish. So if you want to come back on Saturday, good. If you want to come back later on about 6ish, that's good. I will post it, and I will also post the recipe cards. I hope everybody's having a good day and they have the rest of the day is good. I hope you have a good day tomorrow. Stay blessed and don't forget you are loved.